Hi, everybody. This is Melanie Shapiro. I'm an immigration attorney in Norwood, Massachusetts. Today, I am with you live on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. So check me out anywhere on these channels. I hope everyone had a great Easter and time with their family, and happy Monday. I'm going to give everyone a second to join. I'm here today. I'm going to answer all the questions that I've received. If you have a question, you can send it to me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Send me a message, leave a comment for me. Let me know you can hear me okay. I think we're good on all of the different platforms. So we have so much going on at the office this week. We have some successes to share with you. And we're keeping an eye on all of the immigration updates. So we'll keep you apprised of any information that we receive about some updates. For tuning in again, this is Melanie Shapiro. I'm an immigrant attorney, so thank you for tuning into the program. Send me your questions. Let me know you're here. I hope everyone's doing great. So started. So I'm going to just jump right in with the questions. I also wanted to share before I get started. Hi, I see hello on Instagram. What's up? So before I get started, I want to say we've got a few that we added this past week, so I'm really excited about that. If you've been to my office, you know that we have a map hanging up in the conference room, and there's a pin for all of the clients that we represent. So we've got about 65 different countries so far that we represent, and this past week we've added 4 countries: Madagascar, Hungary, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. So very excited. And so one of the big things is we're moving, well, not moving, but we're adding a second office. We're opening our second office May 3rd in Worcester. And made me think of that when I was talking about some of the African countries, because we love Fatima's Cafe out in Worcester, some East African food out there. So you should check it out if you're in town. We also have an attorney, James Escobedo, will be joining us in Worcester. He will be an associate attorney with our office, and I'm so excited to have him on board. And you all get a chance to meet him when you have an appointment out in Worcester. So with that said, let's get started with the questions. So just send us a message if you have any, but I am going to try to get over to my messages. Okay, here we go. The first question I have is, okay, so my question is, my stepson wants to bring his girlfriend over legally. The question we have is it better for him to marry her in Mexico and then file for green card for her, or should she get a visitor visa and marry her here and then file for her LPR? So I get this type of question a lot. So I think that you should do things the right way and marry her in Mexico and then bring her over through consular processing. Or you can also do a fiancé petition and bring her over and then marry her in the United States. Now, the reason I say do it the right way is if you want to come over on a visitor visa, your intent that you're telling immigration is to visit the US and to go back. So if you come here and you get married, it looks like you lied to immigration about what your actual intent was when you were coming here. So you should definitely go through the consular processing and either do a fiancé petition or marry her in Mexico and then do a marriage petition through the consulate. Thank you for your question. The next question that I have is, hello, just a quick question. My little sister applied for DACA for the first time in December. It only shows that the application has been received. Is this normal? How long does it usually take? Thank you. So thank you for your question. Everything is a bit delayed because of COVID. USCIS is pretty short-staffed, and they only have so many people working in the office right now. So I'm checking on the USCIS website. You can go on there and check your processing times for different types of cases. And I am looking for this. So the requests are now taking 7 to 9 months. So yes, your sister's case is in normal processing times. They're currently processing cases from July of last year. For if that's for a case inquiry. So you can expect if you applied in December that she'll receive her DACA somewhere between June and September. Thank you for your question. The next question I have is, my husband arrived here legally and we're about to start his green card by marriage process. I am a US citizen. How long does it typically take for him to get a work permit and a green card? So thank you for your question. It's taking about 3 to 5 months to get the work permit. And I am on this site again, so I don't know where your husband and you live, but say if we use Boston for an example, this is taking about a year for these types of cases right now for him to receive his green card. So the way that it works is first you'll receive the receipt notice somewhere between a few weeks to a couple of months. He will go for a biometrics appointment, which is fingerprints and a photo to confirm his identity. And then the last step in the process is that you will go for an interview before an officer. And then after the interview, if your case is approved, you'll receive the green card in the mail. Thank you for your question. The next question I have is, hi, Melanie. I came to the US in 2005 at the age of 5. I went to school, and in 2008, my parents decided to travel more up north, and we were caught by immigration. I was only 8. But because of this reason, no lawyer has been able to help me fix my papers. In 2012, I came back to the US and never left since. I'm married to a US citizen, and I'm trying to get a work permit or anything to be able to be here, but no one has been able to help me. What do you recommend for me to do? Well, thank you so much for your question. So this is a little bit complicated, this situation. So in this situation, the person came to the US in 2005 at the age of 5, and then so I am assuming that he was deported with his parents when he was 8 years old. So he has so the unlawful presence and everything starts accruing when someone is 18 if they were brought here, but the problem here is that because he was deported, he was subject to a 10-year bar, but he entered the United States before the 10 years, so now he's going to need a waiver. So in this situation, you would have to see if you'd be eligible for a waiver for the illegal reentry and the unlawful presence. If you, I'm assuming you came back illegally, so you would definitely need a waiver. So in order to qualify for a waiver, you have to show exceptional circumstances to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident immediate family member. So if your spouse has any sort of medical conditions, mental health issues, or if you have any children with medical conditions, mental health issues, or learning difficulties, that could constitute a ground for an exceptional circumstance. So send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or call the office at 781-461-0100, and we can schedule you for a consultation. I can see if there's something that we can do. But in this situation, it is possible. You just need to find a way to get a waiver. So thank you for the question. The next question that we have is, I applied for my citizenship a month ago, but I have issues. I've been out of the US for 7 months. Do you think they will deny my case and make me wait 5 years again? So anyone with the same issue, please comment. Great. That's a great question. So there is some leniency now because of COVID. It's a legitimate reason for being outside of the US for more than 6 months. So what they look at in terms of the amount of time that you've spent outside of the US compared to the time that you've spent in is you have to have spent more time in the US than outside of the US in the last 5 years. So it may raise a red flag to immigration, but there are legitimate reasons due to COVID or whatever reason you have for being outside of the US to explain the 7 months outside. It's important to show that you still are paying taxes, that you have your assets in the US, your job, etc. So there are ways to get around that. So thank you for the question. The next question that I have is, one second. The next question I have is, hi, I'm on a tourist visa and I want to seek asylum. The thing is, my parents are very old back home and I'm scared I can't see them anymore. Can you travel to other countries to meet your family during this period, or how does it work? That's a great question. So the answer is yes, you can, but you need a travel document to do that. So once you apply for asylum, and you can't leave unless you have a travel document. After 150 days, you can file for the work permit and the travel document. I actually think I might be able to apply for the travel document right away. You can certainly do emergency travel requests and set up an info mod appointment with USCIS in order to do that. But I do have a lot of clients who are, like, for example, from Uganda, who travel to Rwanda or Nigeria or Kenya to see family members. But it's really important that if you're seeking asylum, that you do not return to your home country, because the whole point of asylum is that you're afraid to return to your country. So that's how you would do it. It's an I-131 application for a travel document. Again, if you have an emergency, like a funeral or someone's really sick or something, you can set up an info mod appointment with USCIS and get a stamp in your passport to travel. Thank you for your question. Okay, so the next question that I have is, hello, I applied for my employment authorization document with ASAP membership and it's been 30 days now. There's no approval. Can you help? What could be the problem? So the problem is that it just takes a long time. Hey, Cesar, our former intern just joined. Cesar, nice to see you on here. Okay, the next question is, hello, Melanie, is it possible to apply for the asylum or VAWA or U visa and try again with a different attorney after the immigration's rejection? Yes, so you can try reapplying for these types of cases. So with asylum, if, for example, if you apply for asylum, you're not in deportation removal proceedings, your case is going to be referred to the immigration court. If you lose at the immigration court, you can appeal to the Board of Immigration Appeals. So once you exhaust all of your appeals, then yeah, you could try applying for asylum again with someone else. So yeah, I definitely recommend setting up a consultation, and we can look and see what your chances are for these types of cases. So send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or call the office 781-461-0100. You can even drop a comment, whatever. We do have some appointments available, I think, this week and next week. So this would be a good time to get in touch with us. So again, thank you for your question. The next question I have is, if you are a first-time applicant for DACA and receive your biometrics letter, in which state are you located? I'm not really sure what the question is, but I think that what they're trying to say is, where are you going to have your biometrics? So these cases are sent out to regional service centers, but that's different from where you get the biometrics at the application support centers. So in this area, for people in the Boston or Worcester area, the biometrics appointments are done in Revere, Massachusetts. So thank you for the question. So let me know if you have any more questions. We will be back on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, miércoles con Melanie, doing our program in Spanish. We are also going to be starting a show in May with La Mega, which is a Spanish radio station out in Worcester. And we're going to be doing that, I believe, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. So it'll be another opportunity to connect and get your questions answered for free. If there are any topics that you want me to cover in a video, I'm doing videos for YouTube, and I'm happy to cover a topic that you're interested in. And okay, so the next question I have is, hello, can I reapply for DACA with a misdemeanor domestic violence? No. So immigration takes domestic violence offenses very, very seriously. So it really depends on the facts of the case and also, what the disposition of the case was. So they can treat something that is a misdemeanor charge as an aggravated felony for immigration purposes. So it's really important to have your charge evaluated and also to see if you can do something called post-conviction relief, which is basically trying to change the outcome of your case after you've been convicted of something based on some sort of mistake that took place during the hearing or the trial. So domestic violence type offenses are definitely uphill climbs with immigration. So yeah, that's a tough thing. All right, so thank you for the question. So I'm gonna see if you have any more questions, just send those in now. I'll wait a few more minutes for everybody to send in your questions. So the other thing, we had one win last week, which was really exciting. So we have a couple who went in for their interview for their marriage petition, and they were approved the same day. Client's getting his green card this week, so that's awesome. They had their interview out in Minneapolis, and the client is from India, so we're very happy for them. And let's see. So I'm just checking on Facebook right now to see if anybody else has any more questions. And then I'll be sending more information about the new office once we get set up there. I look forward to being able to meet with clients out in Worcester. We have so many people from Worcester, so it's going to be a lot easier for everyone. And then we're going to have one of our paralegals, Ajma, is going to be in Worcester, as well as James Escobedo, the associate attorney that is going to be starting next week. So he's going to be out in Worcester too. I'm probably going to be out there on Mondays and Thursdays for consultations. So really looking forward to that. And just connecting more with the Worcester community. Okay, great. So I have Sean has a question. Hi, I use my green card as identification on road trips across the border into Canada. I spent 24 or more hours or more on some of these trips. On the N400 form, should I mention these trips in part 9, time outside of the US? Yeah, so thanks for your question. If you Google I-94, there's a website, it's like i94.dhs.gov, and on that, you can put down all of the trips, all of your arrivals and departures will be on there, but sometimes those aren't recorded when you're just crossing the border with Canada. So just use your best recollection for that. And as long as you don't have a ton of time outside of the US and you're just going to Canada, it's not a big deal. So thank you for your question. I have a question from Cesar. I received my green card recently. Am I eligible to do a real ID from Massachusetts? Yes, you are. So you have to show for the real ID driver's licenses in Massachusetts, they're being a real pain in the butt with people. So they are requiring that you show that you have at least 1 year of legal status in the US in order to get your driver's license. So showing that you have, for example, an approved asylum case, you have a green card, you're a US citizen, or you are a conditional permanent resident, those are some ways that you can demonstrate that you do have that status in the US. So thank you for your question. I have a question that came in from Daisy. Hey, Daisy. Hi, can I use my approved F1 family category to change status? Um, so I don't know, does that mean that you're on an F1 or what? But yeah, so the I think that she's referring to the visa bulletin, so the F1 family-based petition first preference category. Um, so on that one, there's still quite a bit of wait time for these types of cases. So I don't know if your case is current right now, but the F1 category is for unmarried sons and daughters of the United States citizens. And those are taking between 5 to 6.5-ish years for that visa category to become current. So unless you know that's current, then you can't really do anything. So if, for example, you're on a visitor visa, a B1 or B2, and you want to change your status to an F1, a student visa, then you can do that while you're waiting for your visa bulletin to become current if you enroll in school and so forth. So that's one way you can do it. Thank you for the question, Daisy. And let me see. I have a question from Claudia. She says, hi, I want to know if Ms. Shapiro could help me with a 2-year delay on form I-751 filled out for a friend of mine. Should we schedule an appointment? Yes, you should definitely schedule an appointment with me because that is outside of the normal processing times. Right now, the I-751s are taking a long time, but that's still a bit outside of the processing time. Sometimes these cases get tied up with immigration because there's some sort of issue. So sometimes it helps to have an attorney get involved in the case. We have some strategies that we can use. So thank you for your question. I'm looking here. Let's see, I have Gabby. She says, I want more information. So if you want more information about the services we provide, give our office a call. There's a lot of information on our website, melanieshapiroesq.com. There's info on YouTube. I have some videos, and then you can always reach out during these lives. And then let's see, do we have any more questions? Okay, I think, oh, we have another one over here. Okay, it was about Daisy's question, got that. So I think that that's all of the questions that we have. If you have any questions that come up, please send us a message and schedule a consultation. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And I hope that everyone has a great day. Bye.